Common Council, May 3rd, 2021. The meeting is now called to order. If we could please stand for Pledge of Allegiance and prayer. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
What is my name?
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the house. If you're not speaking, please make sure that you mute your line. We have a lot of people on video today, so I just want to make sure that we minimize any background noise. Thank you so much. Prayer, please, Councilor Giles.
Dear Father, we come to you most humbly asking for your guidance today as we come together to lead our city of Lawrence forward. Lord, we ask that you continue to protect and look over our public safety workers. Lord, we ask that you continue to just shine your light on this wonderful city of Lawrence. We ask all these things in your highest name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, we have a quorum. Next on the agenda is comments of council members and special recognitions or resolutions. Do we have any?
Madam President, I have a couple items, if I may, please. The first item regarding the public notice for the public hearing regarding the fire station and improvements for station number 38. I was wondering if that might be able to be posted to the website and Facebook for the next hearing by the administration. If they could do that, I would greatly appreciate that. The second thing I have is also another request to the administration regarding the Senate Bill 392, which was passed into law last week, signed by the governor. If we might have some information or a report potentially regarding how that might impact the city of Lawrence, and in particular, how that will impact the Lawrence Common Council. So information and impacts on how that bill will affect our Common Council. Greatly appreciate that. And the last thing is, I just wanted to bring a reminder that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And as you may be aware, COVID-19 has brought on and exacerbated and increased awareness of mental health issues in our community. And wanted to let you know about a new initiative that has been launched by the Indianapolis Colts titled Kicking the Stigma, and it is related to mental illness. And lastly, if for any mental health resources, I ask that you call the Indiana 211 or connect to the Indiana Regional Recovery Hub website. That is indianarecoverynetwork.org. And please support our local mental health organizations such as National Alliance of Mental Illness of Greater Indiana and Mental Health America of Indiana. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Madam President, if I may.
Go right ahead, Councilor Wells.
Thank you. A couple of things. This Explorer Park has been mentioned considerably on Facebook, and there's been some petitions with some of the neighbors. I understand this is in Councilor Freeman's district, but it does border my district as well. The gentleman that has been heading up the petition had mentioned on social media that they're Eric Martin is planning a meeting with these citizens. And if Eric is listening to this, I'll send him an email tomorrow. But if you could copy me as to when this date's going to be, whether it'll be in person or in Zoom or however. And one other thing, and Councilor Musmaroff had mentioned this as well. With all the construction that's going on at 52nd and Midhofer, maybe this would be something for Shree, if he could get with me and let me know what the possibilities are if we could put a stoplight at that intersection, because traffic is getting pretty congested over there now. I don't think some people quite understand the concept of four-way stop. So maybe a stoplight would be a great improvement over there. And I know it was discussed during the school, the bus garage thing, and then when they talked about putting in the additional mobile home park as well. But with all that coming about, that maybe a stoplight would be maybe not a bad idea. So if Sheree could get with me, or whoever would be in charge of trying to push that forward, could let me know. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor Wells. Any other councilors? Okay, seeing none, I did ask that the clerk come forward to provide the dial-in information for later in the agenda when I open it up for the public hearing.
Good evening. The public is invited to participate remotely by dialing 312-626-6799 and entering the following identification code, 852-3267-8880, followed by the pound sign.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is an update on Lawrence Parks. I believe Mr. Jeff Vest and Eric Martin are there sitting in the audience. If you want to come forward and provide that update, be much appreciated.
Madam President, while they're stepping forward, I just got a quick point of inquiry here. I had somebody just mentioned that the Facebook Live isn't up for this meeting. I just wanted to confirm that we are on Facebook Live.
Thank you. And let me just pause for a minute and make sure that Kathy can get that message out that Facebook Live is not up and running at this time. Going live now is what it says. So, Mr. Martin, Mr. Vest, you have the floor. Thank you, Councilor Denny.
Thank you, President Chavez. First of all, I'd like to let Mr. Wells know that the meeting is Thursday at 3:30 at Explorer Park. If he'd like to join us, he's more than welcome. Briefly, we're just going to discuss, you asked us to discuss some projects with infrastructure, also upcoming programs, and then last, the selection of the catering regarding the Starrett Center and Gen Park. So we'll begin with projects. We just finished our park master plan. Mr. Vest signed with Structure Point back in December of 2019, a agreement to develop our master plan. It was just approved last month. And we asked that all the council members go and check that out, still on the website. It's a very informative document, and it'll hopefully guide our department for the next 5 years. We have an additional playground going in at Alexander Park this year. Alexander Park's one of our smaller park locations, but it's a very well-attended park location, especially by the residents of the Betchhold and Geneva and Charney area. So we look forward to that this year. We've got a fitness trail going in at Community Park with proceeds coming from hopefully a grant through Sports Illustrated. with the pandemic, a lot of people have been using Community Park, especially the sledding hill and the walkway around Community Park. So we thought this would be an ideal project, and Joe Murphy with the mayor's staff has been headlining that proposal.
Can you give us some information regarding the potential grant? When the decision date is, what the specifics are in terms of dollar amount, whether or not it's a match?
We can send you that, yes. We've got several grants that we're applying for. Another one is the trail connection at 63rd and Lee Road. This is part of the next level trail system with the state. We were denied at level 2, but they're having one more round this summer, so we're hopefully going to get some additional partners in that. We're looking to MSD of Lawrence Township, the state park, and even the neighborhoods in that area. So
and I will interject, that's the importance of our latest 5-year master plan. I've been on a parks board now, this is my 25th year, and this master plan go-around is by far the best. We spent some dollars to get it very detailed inventory, our needs, our wants, and this master plan hopefully will get us over the top here with these grants that we need. The goal is connectivity for our parks.
and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the cultural campus. Actually, the largest financial obligation that the city's entered into with regards to park development, I guess you would say, since the 2000 and when we had a $3.2 million bond issue, we did a lot of park improvements. This is probably the largest. Just want to remind everybody the grand opening's on May the 22nd, and the Parks Department, along with the Parks Board, has a memorandum of understanding with Arts for Lawrence, so we'll be doing a lot of the cooperative efforts there with Arts for Lawrence.
And all the council members, you should have or will be receiving shortly your formal invite. So mark your calendar for that Saturday, May 22nd.
And lastly on that, we are doing some landscaping to the Starrett Center, much needed landscaping. I just want to mention that these are all city forces that are doing this operation. Last thing I have here that I'll mention is signage. I want to thank Ethan Marasco. He's been an intern with the controller's office, but he came up with this city logo design, which I'm sure you're all aware of. And that was something identified in our park master plan, was the wayfinding and image. And I believe this will really do a great job for us. Jeff will come back at the end and discuss Community Park and some of the projects we're doing there. Let me jump over into programming. COVID certainly slowed things down, but we're this spring starting off with 900 kids in the OYO baseball program, 275 kids in the Fall Creek softball and baseball program, nearly 1,000 in the FC Pride, and this last weekend of April they hosted a 700-team Red Lions tournament, which brought several people to the park. We're starting this week at Alexander Park with our adult softball program. And lastly, our Lawrence senior activities are looking to restart in June for, of course, getting back to doing some things at the community center. And then this summer, we're planning our July 3rd program with the parade, carnival, baseball games, and of course fireworks. So lastly, I'll kind of discuss the catering contract that we have for the Starrett Center and Gin Park and how we came to that. We received RFPs in the mail. We sent out RFPs to 14 companies. There was a subcommittee of the mayor, Controller Fenwick, City Attorney Jeff, Judy Byron was on there, and Joe Murphy, and we put the parameters together for the catering contract. A lot of it came from other areas like Kokomo, Greenwood. We even looked at Fairfield Community Arts Center and just outside of Cincinnati. RFPs were mailed on December 1st. We had a pre-bid meeting on December the 8th. And lastly, we received closed bids on the 15th of December with 3 bids, 4 being sent in. 1 was rejected due to incompleteness of the application. So now we have 3 competitors that when you rent the Stair Center at Gin Park, you can access one of those 3 vendors, and they can set the menu and standards up the way you want. So we're hoping it'll bring some needed revenue back in that we were losing by just letting non-selected vendors come in. So Jeff, you want to add a few things regarding the Civic Plaza or?
Yeah, a couple things here. Thanks for giving us a chance to kind of give you all a state of our union here. Real quick, Civic Plaza, we are headed towards the final stages of what that is going to look like. Just kind of give you, if you're not sure where the Civic Plaza is going to be, my other life I live, of course, I serve as president of Fort Harrison Reuse Authority. Exciting things are coming from the hotel, library, single-family dwellings going up, and I think for the city, the construction and opening, hopefully late spring, and maybe I'm ambitious, early summer of 2022, Lawrence Civic Plaza, which will be just north of the True Hotel, that the walls are going up, and it's getting constructed. So it's going to be $1 million plus project. Cooperation between the Reuse Authority and grant monies that we've received. That's going to serve as, the cornerstone, the center point of all our city festivals. We, of course, for this year, we got to relocate our festivals that we had gotten used to of having in that location. Still haven't decided where we're going to go ice skating this winter yet, but we hopefully will get dirt turning by the end of July, 1st of August, and a little over a year from now, we'll have another ribbon cutting out here at Fort Harrison, celebrating Civic Plaza, and it'll be the central focal gathering point for the city of Lawrence. Very excited to play a role in that. A couple things wanted to update you. Most of you folks know Fall Creek Little League and Lawrence Little League, or baseball, have combined. A couple reasons for that is kind of long-term goals the administration and the city has for how we want to use Lee Road Park. A repurposing. Also, if you know any of the history out there, geography and history, topography hasn't been very kind to Fall Creek baseball out there. Most of that park is built on top of an old Army landfill. And it was becoming more and more cost prohibitive for Fall Creek to constantly pour money into maintaining, not so much improving the facility, their baseball facility. And also our friends at Lawrence Little League, that's where I played from when I was 7 up to age of 15. The flagpole you see out there, it's funny what things you remember. It was dedicated the first day I played baseball, parade day, April of 1971. That park's had Little League out there since 1956. And our goal is to not only repurpose Community Park going forward, but to make massive improvements. We want that to be our center point park, recreational use. The goal being to let's go beyond just recreational sports, Little League baseball, FC Pride, but we have the sledding hill, we have a skate park, but we also realize we got some real estate out there that we can repurpose to be a multi-purpose recreational facility. As it backs up and as more and more people become residents on Fort Harrison, but also drawing folks from where I grew up in Old Lawrence at 48th and Harrison Drive, or when I graduated LC 49th and Elmhurst, we want to use that as a gathering point. So when people have had questions why we combine those little leagues and our goal of repurposing Lee Road Park to be a multi-recreational facility and community park, our goal is, of course, to make it the center point of our parks in the city of Lawrence. And just a couple other real quick, we kind of kicked around the catering. Gin Park and the Starrett Center went through some significant upgrades over the last 6 months to accommodate folks for rentals when the world returns to normal again, whatever that looks like, and they can have their weddings and parties and receptions and for use by our caterers. Eric and I are more than willing. You wanted to hop in his truck, you want to go out and take a tour of the park, you want to come out and see the upgrades at Gin and Starrett Center, just give us a scream and be more than happy to accommodate. But our long-term goal going forward, to reiterate what Eric said, is our department is hamstringed when it comes to funding. And it has nothing to do with whoever sits in the mayor's office or sits on the council. Lawrence lives a double life. We provide public facilities for our parks, but we also subsidize heavily, over 6 figures yearly, to the city of Indianapolis through Unigov. And that's just tax dollars supplementing them. The majority of our kids in our youth sports program are not city of Lawrence residents. They may be Lawrence Township. More and more are coming from the McCordsville area. We're not going to get rich by the catering concept that we have, but we're hoping that it will help plug some holes that we constantly see year in and year out. Hopefully that answers a few questions.
Okay, now I'm going to open it up to any counselors who have questions for Mr. Martin and Mr. Vest, please.
Madam Chair, I have a couple questions.
Okay. You have the floor.
How much is the percentage on the catering contract?
10% of the gross, 10% of the gross.
Do you have an idea of what the average catering bill is there?
Well, we don't yet really because we haven't had that much involvement in it, but what we have noticed are customers going to the vendors and asking or telling them I've got X amount budgeted for food, and they're working within their budget to provide that service for them.
Okay. Mr. Bass, how much is this how much money would you guys hope to gain from this catering deal?
Well, if it's, I wrote down, and we're looking at 19 numbers.
Yeah.
So the Starrett Center was just right at 40,000 net profit, or
This is from the catering.
no, this is from rentals.
Okay.
So
These are just rental numbers there, Councilman.
Right.
40,000 from Starrett and about 25,000 from Gin Park. So I don't know what a conservative figure would, but it'd probably be 5,000 to 10,000, we would think.
Okay, $5,000 to $10,000. All right, I think that's a fair deal to deal. Now, here's the question I have. You said you reached out to 14 caterers. Were those people that were maybe picked from a list that had used or, maybe written their name? Did we track people who were caterers who used the Starrett Center in the past?
What we did, we sent the request to those that were Greater Lawrence Chamber members, where we obtained the list.
Oh.
And then we had it online. We did get one request from an online service, and that was from Jugs Catering. But we had it online also for the 15 days it was advertised.
So you had it advertised for 2 weeks, and it was only sent to people who were members of the Lawrence Chamber. And I imagine that it probably was only 14 caterers in the Lawrence Chamber of Whole. But you never thought to maybe look at who had been using your facility, because I know that there are several caterers who have used the Starrett Center as home base for their business for multiple years that have had no awareness of this RFP process, and they are now closed out. Many of these folks may not be Lawrence Township, are not involved with the Lawrence Chamber, but I can tell you for a fact that one in particular is a Lawrence Township resident for sure. And so don't you think, or you guys never considered with your subcommittee that you might get accused of exclusion by this process? You left it very critical.
Real quick, Councilman, a couple of things there. To my recollection, how many caterers have used either one of those facilities as a home base?
I'm not saying a home base in literal sense. I'm saying that if you want me to just give you a little touch of the, I'll break it down for you. The Starrett Center is one of the few places within this county that did not have a closed place. The Starrett Center, if you talk to the average East Side resident that come to Lawrence and come to use the service, the deals on our, use our facilities, Starrett Center is high on the list. And so when I said home base, I can tell you of several East Side catering businesses that have used the Starrett Center for years and tell their customers, hey, call the Starrett Center and see if they're available for your needs. But these folks were not aware of the changes that have occurred, and it is really significantly hurting their business, and they've asked me for answers. So the answer is you have a subcommittee that chose people that were selected from the Lawrence Township council, deal. So thank you for informing me.
Just last thing, real quick, Councilman. A couple of things here. First, we don't know where this is going yet. This is obviously, the world isn't normal yet. We do have the ability to open it up at the end of the calendar year.
Yeah.
At the end of the calendar years to folks that may want to get in.
Why do you have to wait to the end of the calendar year?
We're not sure just where this is going yet, and we did put a time frame on the RFPs. When we did send them out, we did put a time frame that this could be revisited in a calendar year.
Within a calendar year or now?
I apologize, the end of the calendar year.
Why? Is this a contract or is this a MOU or?
We do have contracts
Right.
with the 3 vendors that right now that are the primary vendors, and those are actually 3-year contracts with a renewal at the end of the year if they wish to renew, or if the city wishes to renew with them. So
they have, they're exclusive?
yes.
Can you kindly repeat the timeline of that contract? I want to make sure I heard. Did you say 3 years?
It is a 3-year contract, renewed at the first of the year. And again, it's on both sides. It's the vendor or the city can cancel the contract.
So I'm gonna call it out specifically because typically we tend to be sort of indiscreet about our constituents that call us. But I received a call specifically, and I'm going to put it out here, specifically from Real Taste Catering, who is a very well-known African-American catering company who has done a lot of events at the Starrett Center over the past probably 2 decades. I got a call from the owner, who was one of the owners, who was very upset, who refers the Starrett Center out to many of its clients, and who does catering events for the Colts, for the Pacers, for very large organizations throughout the city who are more than capable of providing catering services of any size. And they were very taken aback that they felt as though they were excluded from the process, and to the extent that it would have been nice to have a mechanism for a catering business outside of those 3 to maybe pay an additional fee, but to be able to be considered. So that's just something I'm going to put out there. And I normally do not do that, but I received a phone call and I committed that I would share that, so I wanted to do that. Councilor Wells.
Well, I have to echo what has been said by Councilor Giles. I think we need to rethink it, and I totally agree with what Councilor Giles just said, and also with what Councilor Chavez just said. I think that we're keeping a lot of people from opportunities that they've had, and I don't really see the real reason for it. So that's my opinion.
May I ask a question, Madam President?
Yes, go right ahead, Councilor Whitfield.
Is it possible, and please correct me if I'm asking an incorrect question, sirs, can you tell us the 3 companies that have been selected during this process?
Sure.
And I may have a follow-up question.
It was Chef Suzanne, Porter's Books and Bread, and Fitzgerald's Catering.
So my follow-up question is, in the past, historically, understanding the Starrett Center and the residents and people of different cultures that have a possibility and have in the past used that center. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't know the third one, Fitzgerald, as I know Chef Susan and Porters and Books. How culturally is this adapted to our residents? Can you just imagine possibly being of a specific culture, want to rent that and can't have their cultural food? And so I just have to put it out there as a diversity inclusion director, and understanding our city and the breakdown of our demographics and such a historical place. The exclusion in my eyes, and I can be wrong, but the exclusion in my eyes does not seem very palatable to our constituencies. So I just have to put it out there.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield.
Oh, sorry.
Is there a response to Councilor Whitfield's comments? I'm sorry, I heard some background noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other councilors?
Madam Chair, I got one other thing I would like to share on this, and I'll leave it alone.
Okay.
Another thing to think about as far as Starrett Center serving these small catering businesses and giving them an opportunity is I have learned that through COVID, many of the event centers throughout the city that were smaller have closed. They did not make it through COVID. So as we look to be exclusive, we would really be nice to be even more inclusive as an economic incubator for our community as well. Thanks.
Thank you. And I don't want to exclude anyone, so I don't think I see any more counselors who want to make comment. So thank you, Mr. Vest and Mr. Martin, for your time.
Thank you.
And
you.
counselors, feel free to go out and review the master plan as mentioned earlier. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next agenda item. Approval of minutes of regular meetings, April 5th and April 21st, 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Counselor Freeman.
I'll second.
Second, Counselor Rusamora. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Counselor Giles.
Aye.
Counselor Wells.
Yes.
Counselor Freeman.
Yes.
Counselor Rusamora.
Yes.
Counselor Chevlot.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Counselor Denny.
Yes.
Counselor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Next on the agenda, we have signing of vouchers, approval of claims, and authorization of payment. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Counselor Denny.
Second.
Second, Counselor Whitfield. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote. Counselor Giles.
Aye.
Counselor Wells.
Yes.
Counselor Freeman.
Yes.
Counselor Rusamora.
Yes.
Counselor Chevlot.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Counselor Denny.
Yes.
Counselor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Next on the agenda, we have reports of committee. There are none. Okay, I'm going to take a brief second here. And next on the agenda, I am going to open up the public hearing. Public hearing regarding preliminary determination to enter into financing lease for the Fire Station 38 project and introduction of preliminary determination resolution. So I'm going to pause here and just give a couple of minutes if there is anyone in the public who would like to make comment. If I can have the clerk come forward one last time and provide the dial-in number.
Okay, if the public can participate remotely by dialing 312-626-6766 and entering the following meeting identification code 852-3267-8880.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Madam President. I think Mrs. Walton may have read that number incorrectly. She said 6766, I think, and it's 6799.
Okay.
312-626-6799.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that correction.
Sure.
Let's just wait 2 minutes, see if there's any public comment. And I'm sure that the clerk, there's no one there in the audience who have signed up on the sheet, but we'll wait 2 minutes to confirm that, and then I will open it.
No one has signed the sheet for the hearing.
Thank you. One more minute. Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Next, we have unfinished business. There is none. New business. Resolution number 4, 2021. Clerk will read it by title.
Resolution number 4, 2021, introduced by Councilors Denny and Councilor Russo-Moroff, a resolution honoring the Lawrence North High School 2021 girls varsity basketball team.
Okay, Councilor Denny, as the sponsor, would you like to make, you or Councilor Russo-Moroff, would you like to make comment on this resolution?
I would just make a quick comment, and I noticed that we have several of our coaches, staff, and players from MSD Lawrence Township on the Zoom meeting tonight, so they may at some point also want to make a comment on these. But just amazing. I know prior to working with the city of Lawrence, I worked with the school board, so some of the players we saw, or I saw when they were freshmen, are now seniors, and just a tremendous activity that our Lawrence North athletics put together for both the boys and the girls teams. And just happens that it's football, my favorite sport, that they're able to help our kids utilize their talents and move into a collegiate level with this. So if you didn't get a chance to see them play, I know we might not have done that in 2021. The 2020, 2019 teams were amazing as well. But it's my privilege to honor them tonight, and I'm proud that they're able to attend and be here with us at this meeting. So I won't say that twice. Let me just say that those comments apply for the boys team as well. I'm very proud of them. And just, high school basketball, I'm from Newcastle, Indiana, has been the love of my life for a very long time. So it's an honor to be in a town where we have just two tremendous teams, the boys and the girls from Lawrence North. And so, Mr. Krauser, I hope you've not upset Lawrence Central too much with these wins, but we'll be sure to recognize them on their victories as those come forward. You're still muted, Madam President.
Thank you. Is there a motion on resolution number 4, 2021?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilor Russell. Second, Councilor Denny. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote. Councilor Giles.
Aye.
Councilor Wells.
Yes.
Councilor Freeman.
Yes.
Councilor Russo-Moroff.
Yes.
Councilor Chevlot.
Yes.
Councilor Russell.
Go Wildcats, yes.
Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Councilor Denny.
Yes.
Councilor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Congratulations. You're representing us well. We appreciate you and all of your hard work. Next, we have resolution number 5, 2021. The clerk will read that by title.
Resolution number 5, 2021, introduced by Councilors Denny and Freeman, a resolution honoring the Lawrence North High School 2021 boys varsity basketball team.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilor Russell.
I'll second it.
Always do ladies first. Second, Councilor Whitfield. Any discussion?
Can I add one more point to this? I know I said about everything in the last one, but our motion says that we congratulate Lawrence North High School, but it's more than congratulate. We recognize, again, the dedication and the amazing work that our student athletes put forth, for their community, for themselves, and just all the hard work that they put forward. So, and Madam President, I request that maybe we give our coaches just a moment to make a comment either before or after we vote on this.
You're supposed to get approval for that before the meeting.
Oops.
Not let that slide.
Okay.
Okay.
I got my
I
one.
think I have a motion and a second. And so, any more discussion?
Madam President, I just wanted to say, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Super proud of my alma mater, and go Wildcats.
Great. We got a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Counselor Giles.
Aye.
Counselor Wells.
Yes.
Counselor Freeman.
Yes.
Counselor Rusamora.
Yes.
Counselor Chevlot.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Counselor Denny.
Yes.
Counselor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Once again, congratulations. And we have the two coaches present. You have the floor. Girls first, then boys.
Madam President, on behalf of Lawrence North High School, I'm going to speak for both coaches tonight. And we just want to thank you for recognizing Lawrence North High School and thank you for all that you do. Coach Giffen with our girls team has done an outstanding job for many years, and as well as Coach Kiefer over 45 years here at Lawrence North High School serving as our head basketball coach. We thank you and thank you for recognizing these great student athletes.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your time, and for the athletes that are on once again. Thank you for your commitment, and you know, who doesn't love a winning team? So awesome job, and on behalf of the council. Thank you so much for your time.
Great job.
All right, next on the agenda, we have resolution number 7, 2021.
Resolution number 7, 2021, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, making a preliminary determination to enter into lease to finance fire station project.
Okay, great. That will be assigned to finance. Next, we have proposal number 3, 2021.
Proposal number 3, 2021, introduced by Councilor Chevlot and Russell, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, appropriating additional funds and amending the 2021 budget as approved by the Common Council with respect to the General Fund, Motor Vehicle Highway Fund, EMS Fund, Administrative Services Fund, and Garage Fund.
That'll be assigned to finance as well. Comments of the administration.
We don't have a whole lot of comments. I do want to, I think most of you were aware of the email I sent out earlier about the very fortunate opportunity presented to our own Jason Fenwick. He will be here through June 11th, and as most of you know, we've certainly felt his presence and will certainly feel the loss. Jason's done a great job of preparing people to step in when he leaves us. He inevitably does, so we'll say probably more at the next council meeting. Next, I think that I would just, I think the biggest thing is that I think that the Senate Bill 392, I'm going to email every counselor a more vivid description of what it does. The biggest impact it has upon the council was already involved in any kind of zoning changes. It still will be. The only difference is that you'll be the final say now with the change. Also, council will have now 3 appointees to the BZA, replacing the 3 Indianapolis appointees. So that's the 2 biggest changes that will take place. Okay.
Thank you. Do we have any citizens' comments?
No one signed the sheet.
Okay, no citizens' comments. We're adjourned. Everyone have a great evening and be safe. Thank you.